Hello everybody and welcome to Puerto Rico. We're at Muñoz Marín International Airport and we're going to be doing a FedEx cargo flight in the C208b by Carenado down to Vance W International Airport, Vance W Amory International. It's TKPN, so we're going TKSJ from TKPN, and this is sim brief. This is where I had the route put together. Anytime you're not sure what route to do, if you don't already have one put together, just go to sim brief, put in your to and from airport, and it'll draw several routes that you can do. So this is the one we're going on. A lot of these islands, I don't want to butcher the names, so I'm not going to try to say them, but hopefully you can see here exactly where we're going. If anybody's interested in the route, I'll post it in the comments, but yeah, this is the route we're doing today. We're going to go by the British and Virgin Islands, and that'll bring us down into Vance W. So we got the 208b started up, and what we're going to do is just make sure our route is set up in here. This is another thing you can grab from SimBrief. You can generate the route. Then if you put it in the appropriate folder, you can actually load the route into the simulator and then have it on the Garmin here. So it looks like everything's good. So our taxi instructions today, we're going to start out from November 3. We're going to get on Hotel, over to Alpha, Sierra, and this is for runway 8 for today. Where the winds are a little bit strong, but they're in our favor. It's going to be mainly just a headwind, but just a strong one. But yeah, this was a subscriber requested flight, and I thought it was a cool one to do. I had been wanting to do cargo in the FedEx livery for this plane, and I also wanted to get this for X-Plane 11. I had it on prepared, or I still have it on prepared, but got it on X-Plane, and so far it's really, really nice to have this plane over on X-Plane 11. And so we're starting out the new year with this. Like I said, it's been over a year since I've even flown this plane on the channel, but always a favorite plane. Unfortunately, the G1000 version of this just came out literally a day or two after I bought it, and that's just the way it goes. I wasn't following that they were working on that one, but I would have liked to have had that one, so I'll have to pick that one up later. We're pulling up to Hotel now. Our cruise today is going to be 11,000 feet, so that'll put us up there. It's always kind of scary to be flying over the water in this area. Yeah, just using default scenery from the X-Plane 11 scenery gateway. In case you don't know what that is, and you want to work on it, you can submit airport scenery that you improve to Laminar, and if they approve it, it'll end up in the next build of X-Plane 11. So that's the cool thing about that gateway, allowing any airport to be worked on. So this one probably has had some work to it. There's no way to tell unless you can remember from different builds the changes, but it's my first time at this airport, so I'm not sure, but it looks pretty good. brakes are kind of jerky on this plane. Alright, let's get the landing lights on full and our strobe lights. And we can go ahead and line up on the runway. I said winds are out of 90 for they're about 18 knots. So better having that more head on than a crosswind. So we're gonna take off into that. We're gonna power set. We're coming through 70 knots and we'll rotate. Needed a lot of input just to keep that straight down the runway, but that's the kind of the challenge you want sometimes. It's always fun to deal with the wind. Now this is a fixed gear aircraft, so we don't have to put a gear up. Sometimes it's a good idea to go through that process anyway and pretend if you do fly a gear aircraft regularly. Always good to stay in the habit. Yeah, so we're flying out now from Muñoz, from Puerto Rico, and going down near the Caribbean islands. And the scenery is, so far, it's pretty nice for the area. Of course, getting excited for the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. I have not been able to be on any of the builds. I guess it was Alpha 1 and the 2, which just started up, but I never got the email, so I don't know what they're using, what type of curriculum they're using to select people, but I have not been a part of it. But that's okay, I can wait. I know one day, eventually, I'll be using that sim. Hopefully, I think probably the first night I get it, I'll stream. From, you know, the moment I turn the sim on. Put some pretty nice views on our way down there. This flight is just a little over an hour. So it's a short hop to do if you want. It's also, you know, good weather today. The visibility is pretty good. You know, around the clouds that are ahead, you can see over them, under them. So that won't be bad. It's just a little windy out here today. So we're approaching our cruising altitude. You can see on our altitude is about to indicate 11,000. That's where we level off. And at this point, I'd like to put on the autopilot. It just seems to transition over better from hand flying to the autopilot once you fly it up to cruise. So we have it at 11,000 now, and yes, the level we'll be flying at for the rest of the flight. And we'll be making our descent once we're over there by the almost close to what they would call the Narrows, which is the water between the two areas we're going, the two islands. Alright, so up here you can start to see we're going to reach our top of descent, and it's just coming into sight now, but the island just ahead, almost at about 1 o'clock, that's the island we're going to be landing on. And the area in front of that, the water, is called the Narrows, and so we'll be flying between those two. But yeah, any moment here we're going to come down from 11,000 to about 2,000 and make this approach. Winds are calm. Everything is, the visibility is really nice today. No storms or anything, so it's a perfect day to go in. And this airport's just it's an interesting airport, and the approach is interesting too. It also goes up. The runway slopes up as you're landing, so you gotta be careful with that as well. Oh, and I also forgot to mention the ignition. If you can see the ignition light on there, that is stuck on for some reason. And this was a problem that was on the prepared version of the aircraft as well, that I believe they eventually fixed, but now the error is back and it's on the X-Plane 11 version. And yeah, no matter which way you turn the switch, the ignition seems to stay on. So that's a bit of a false positive there. Alright, so we're going to take control of the aircraft now. I'm going to turn the autopilot off, and we're going to start hand flying it down to TKPN. We're not too far from St. Martin. We actually passed it on the way here, but this is in the area where it's at. So you always get a lot of interesting approaches around these parts. So it's a little gusty coming in here, just like it was windy in Puerto Rico. At least the winds have made it out here as well. So this is the narrows that we're approaching right now. We're gonna fly straight. We're gonna make a left and fly into the runway that way. We're down, trying to straighten out. Landed a little bit flat, but this is my first landing in this plane in a long while. An authentic first landing. Didn't get any practice in or anything. But not too bad. That was pretty decent. So we're gonna go ahead and back taxi, and then we'll go up here and park. Turns nicely. Just takes a lot to keep it straight when you're going down the runway, especially if there's wind. But really like having this plane in X-Plane 11 because it does. It's just fun to use and pick up a lot of routes, a lot of medium routes, short routes. Left. We'll also take a look at the replay from the ground view from the taxiway. Alright, so let's go ahead and shut down the avionics and the lights. We'll turn the engines off. So then we're going to cut the prop. And you can see everything powering down. And we'll go ahead and unload our cargo today. And it's been a fun flight. It's like got here just in time for the evening, catch a sunset, and be on to the next flight. Also cut our fuel. We got a few more things to take care of. Go ahead and let's go to the back and open up the doors. Alright everybody, thanks for coming along on this FedEx cargo flight in the C208b. It was a lot of fun to do, and maybe I'll request a flight and I'll do yours next. So, alright everybody, you take care. I'll see you next time.